Path girls.
Path girls.
I hate it. Yeah. Hope
102.
Yeah, 102. Yes.
We'll just count every time.
Path 102. I think, yeah, PAF is better. It's just harder to say rather than like path. Sounds like pap, and I'm like, no.
Oh, I think it sounds like path, but someone has like a speech impediment. That's what I thought.
Path.
I'm going on this path.
All right, well, what's our 10 and 10 today? What are we starting off this chaotic episode with?
Our 10 and 10 is dog names. And this came about because my boyfriend's sister just got a dog, and she named, well, hopefully she never listens to this, actually. Anyway, sometimes names are just not what I would choose.
Yeah.
Especially for an animal.
Yeah.
And that made me think, like, well, I've never had an actual...
I was literally like, what else would you be naming? And I'm like, humans.
Yeah.
That's what you meant. Anyway, sorry.
Well, because some of the names that people give their dogs, I feel like those are people names. Those aren't dog names.
Yes.
But I've never had my own dog, so I don't actually know. So then it made me think, what would I name them? And I wrote down 5, and I'm guessing you did too, because that's the segment. But I realized that a lot of the names that I was picking were more like boy dog names.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like so I erased one and put a girl dog name in there. But the first one I have is Scout.
Scout. Interesting. Not a fan.
I feel like I want like a hunting dog. I don't hunt.
I know. Like, I don't picture you
with a Scout
yelling the name Scout. Not that you're gonna be yelling, but I'm just saying, like.
Okay. Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
These are just, I don't know. I feel like I would need to see the dog too, like depending on the type of dog.
That's true.
That it is.
That's true. I do like the name Scout. It's very cute. It just feels like the dog is like already, I don't know, I guess.
Already old?
Yeah, already old. But I guess like a puppy Scout would be cute. Love it. Anyway. My first one, are you okay?
Speaking of dogs.
Yeah, speaking of dogs, we're
audience.
What's happening? You're like eyeing me like nobody's business. All right, there, freakazoid. My first name that I thought of, I've always wanted to get a silver staffy, like Luna, but silver, and name him Charlie. But that was always on my list, but I was hesitant about saying that first because I'm like, that's a name. That's a person name. But I don't think I would choose any other human name. Well, I don't know. Luna's, aside from Charlie. I guess there's not really
I don't think Luna is a person name. Luna Lovegood, that's the only one that I think of, and that's a fictional character. So
that's true.
I like it. My next one, so this is funny because I've loved this name for a dog for so long, and I have met more people with this name than I've ever heard with the dog name. Cooper. I feel like that's a cute, like, I picture like a foxy type dog. Yeah.
Cooper, that's really cute. I actually kind of like that for like a kid name, like a child.
I have a cousin named Cooper, and my sister's ex was named that, so.
Gotcha.
I know more people. But when I was in Ecuador, maybe, there are a lot of stray dogs everywhere in Latin America, and one just kind of started following me, and I named it Cooper, and I was like, this is so cute.
Oh my god. How did you not, I could never go there. How did you not take it home?
Well, I was like on a hike, and he followed me the whole hike, and then he like ran away at the end.
I love that. I want to take every dog home.
I know.
Almost all, I think all of the rest of mine are based off some sort of book or something. So this one isn't a Harry Potter one, but this is what I really wanted to name Luna, but we ended up not naming her. She's on one today.
Look at her. She's so happy.
Hi. Is Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon. Have you ever seen that movie?
I think so.
The black dragon with green eyes. It's so cute. It looks like it has no teeth, and then he names it. I don't know. It's a very cute movie, and I really like it. And he, not to like spoiler alert of this fucking cartoon movie that Disney that you're never gonna watch, or DreamWorks, whatever it is, but he loses a wing, and he has to like fix and help his wing, and then the guy loses its leg. It's like this whole thing, and I'm like, it just fits perfectly.
Yeah.
She was so cute. She doesn't have green eyes, but
She scared herself.
Anyway, long-winded explanation. Toothless. I
like it.
I love that name.
I do feel like a name for a dog, for me, needs to be a little shorter. Like yelling Toothless, come here, or something. That just seems like a mouthful, but it is cute, especially with that backstory.
Yeah.
I really like tree names. If I ever have children, I'm concerned what I will name them.
Like
Willow.
Oh, Willow.
Like, I think that
God,
Willow
I can totally
is like...
see you being like like that Colorado mom, like Willow and Leaf or something like that.
I'm concerned that that's what will happen. But I'll name my dog Willow.
I like that.
That's a cute, like, girl dog name.
Yeah. I like that. Soft, sweet, cute.
Hopefully that's all the things that she is. My sister was saying she would rather have girl dogs and boy horses. And I guess their mannerisms are like male horses are more chill.
Oh.
But girl dogs are more like loyal. I don't know. Do you have a preference?
Well, I don't know. I feel like I would not even know what to do with a boy dog. I like what is...
Their red rockets freak me out.
Yeah, that's a lot. But I also just like, I've never had a boy dog, but just seeing like when I go home, me and my sister's dog Groot, like, he is just the best dog ever. And then my dad's dog Shaq, like, the boy dogs feel like a little bit more like more loyal to me. Like, I think not loyal. Luna and Bash are loyal, but like, it's more so like Bash can be such a bitch sometimes. She's like, they're such bitches. They're like, feed me, walk me, pet me, and that's it. Now leave me alone. Whereas like a boy dog is like, hi, how can I help you? Like, what do you need, mom? What do you need, mom? And I love that.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. My next one is Harry Potter, and it's Nox, which is the spell to turn off the light, and that's what I love my little black dogs, so I'll probably have another black dog, and I like the name Nox.
Like Knox?
Yeah. No, like Nox. Oh, actually, I don't know. I haven't read the book. I think in the book it is just Nox.
Well, that's cute. I like that. How do you feel about Duke? I picture like a really large dog.
Yeah.
It is a bit...
Or like a little tiny dog. Oh my god, that would be so...
A little chihuahua.
Oh
Duke!
my god, stop. I would die. That'd be
really
so cute. Love it.
Yeah.
Oh shit, what's my next one?
Hurry, we have 1 minute.
Oh fuck. Appa from Avatar.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Big furry guy.
Makes me think of Oppa.
Like
grandpa.
Oh.
Oppa, I think, is like German?
Oh, I have no idea.
Appa.
Appa.
That's what you said?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, we have 30 seconds. My last one is Olive.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah.
My last one it's just so funny, and I don't know if I'd ever do it, but I will never forget this. I used to walk a dog that's name was DOG.
Whoa.
Like spelled out, but it just like DOG, it like rolls off the tongue. So I'm kind of, I like it.
That. That's cool.
Boom, 10 dog names.
10
You're welcome
minutes.
for that
Tons
wonderful start. What are we talking about this week? I'm so excited.
We're talking about how to say no. And I think this has been my biggest issue my entire life. Still an issue. I actually talked about it this morning in my therapy session. You know, it's really hard. And I feel like the high level reason why it's hard is because when you say yes, you feel like you don't need to justify. Like, you're just saying yes. When you say no, it feels like you have to have a good reason to say no.
Yep. Yeah.
Instead of just like no, I just don't want to.
Yeah.
Why can't I say no the same way I can say yes?
Yeah.
And why am I so worried about everyone else's feelings? And yeah.
All the things.
All the things. I have a lot to say.
Okay, can't wait. I love this for so many reasons. I was just like thinking back just a little bit of like my history with like no, and obviously like I feel like this is also a woman conversation. Mm-hmm. I do think that there are men out there that struggle with saying no or whatever and can relate at the same time, but the pressure and I think just like the things that come with being a woman and already feeling like you have to be a people pleaser all the time, like there are just so many strings attached. So just want to say that like right off the bat. Mm-hmm. But growing up, I feel like I was very like, I mean, I still am very headstrong and very like, I was very capable of setting boundaries, which is crazy to me. Mm-hmm. I also didn't really hang out with a lot of people other than my family, just as like the world is when you're growing up, you're like primarily like with your family. Mm-hmm. And I had no need to people please. Like I was able to say no probably way more than I should have. Like I didn't really struggle with it too much with like setting boundaries and just not even boundaries, but just like not people pleasing until I went to college and I was away with family. And then I felt this like pressure to people please and like have people like me. And like, I struggled with saying no to like anything. Like this is just like all the things that you can think of. And I just got like overwhelming. And so now I've gotten to a place where like my ability to say no is strong, but I also am like avoiding for the same reason as like I don't have a good enough answer for you for whatever the reason is. And I really want to make you happy, but if you ask me again, like I can't say yes because I can't do whatever it is, or like I don't want to. The answer is no, but I can't say no, so now I'm just gonna like avoid. And that is where I'm at. Avoiding,
Yeah, I get that. I feel like when I see people now in my adult life who say no to things, depending on what it is, I have a lot of respect. So I'm like, great, like, you know your energy, you know your, like, I don't know, plans for the week, you know how you feel. It's fine. I don't want to be hanging out with someone who doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to be there, then that's fine.
Yeah.
That's okay. I do think it does sometimes, and this is just me, there are people who are so, like, I don't know if headstrong's even the right word, but they kind of just like do whatever they want, and it feels inconsiderate to other people because they're constantly like, no, this is what I want. And it's like, okay, do you have any like flexibility at all?
Yeah.
I feel like there needs to be a balance, and it's like the one end of like people pleasing to the point where you're drained and you don't have anything to give, or you only ever do what you want to do and what makes you feel the best. And I think about like, this happened when we were renting a house for a friend's wedding, of just like people being so inflexible about where they were sleeping. And I get that like we're adults and we paid for a hotel or a Airbnb or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
Like
a time and a place.
First come, first serve. We all paid. I don't know. It feels like
no leniency. And it's like, yeah, we all would love the queen bed to ourselves. Yeah.
But we knew getting into this that this is what it was.
Yeah.
And that it didn't change. There's examples like that where I'm like, come on. Like, you're making things really difficult.
Yeah.
And that to me doesn't feel like a boundary. It just feels like you're being difficult.
Right, because of like just where you're coming from. It's not a set, you're just being a little bitch. I agree. I think it's like how I can't relate because I will never be that. Even within all of the work that I've done, setting boundaries or just saying no, which like I have no problem saying no sometimes when it comes to like doing things.
I feel like you're good about that. It's like if you have the energy and the capacity, and then it's like really fun because you're present in there.
Right.
It would be like a bummer.
No, and I think I love that about myself. I wish I was almost like just. That's why I'm so, one of the things that I love about living with you is like you pull me to do things that I may not I don't know how to word this, but like, not that I don't want to do it, but I may not want to do it in that moment. And then I'm like, because I could stay here in my cave forever and never leave, and I would be fine.
Yeah.
But I also know that like, that's not true, and I do need to go out and like, you know, breathe fresh air and like maybe socialize. And I feel like you're like a little social butterfly, so I just like cling on. Like, okay, Mom, take me home, like, you know. And
Yeah.
I appreciate that, because I think that I am good at saying no to those kinds of things. Where I struggle with saying no is like when it comes to like things that have to do with like my own personal boundaries. Like I can let things go when people walk all over me. I can't say no when it comes to like, I don't want to say like diets, but I just mean like, you know what I mean? Like just kind of, you know, sweet treats. Remember how we were talking about that, and like coffee and stuff? Like that's a hard area for me to say no. Like I can go out for a sweet treat and go get a coffee and go get a drink. Like it's just, that boundary is very difficult for me. So it's things like that, I think, that I struggle with. But even like when I think of like doing things with friends or saying no, sometimes I don't even really say no, I avoid, and then I'm not there.
Yeah, I get that. I think I'm the same way. Like I say yes to mostly everything with friends because genuinely I want to do those things. But it is my own like energy that I have a hard time, cuz I'll plan out my week and I have it mapped out to where it's like I have the space and time to do a workout, to get enough sleep, to still have like social hours. And it's those plans that come up last minute, or like if people like need help with something and I just say yes, and then it's like, well, now I didn't get my workout in, I didn't get enough sleep, now I'm overwhelmed. When my therapist was like, don't you think that now you aren't showing up for those people with like your full attentive energy? And it's like true, because for example, this week I found out it was my grandma's birthday, which like my bad that I didn't know when her birthday was.
It's hard sometimes, all right? You have like 70 of you, all right? It's hard.
Someone from my old company was like, hey, can we like chat? Like I made some changes in my life, I want to talk, which like these are all things I want to do. Like, yes, I want to catch up with you. This random girl that I had met at a bar who saw I had a triathlon shirt on and like asked if I could like give her some tips. She texted me and was like, would you be willing to like go swimming with me and like help me? And then I put it on myself that like, because they reached out, I need to respond within 24 hours and make the plan. When it's like, no, I don't need to do that. They didn't say, can you talk to me right now? I need this right now. It's self-inflicted, and I can't say no, like, to myself, I guess. Of like, no, Erica, you have your schedule. Now I've missed 2 workouts this week that I wanted to do. I was exhausted on Tuesday. And still trying to, like, do other things. It's just,
I know.
I just don't get it.
I know.
I don't get it.
It is really tough. And I was going to say something to that, and that was... I hate when that happens. I like think of something and then the story continues and I'm like so wrapped and I'm like,
Grandma, coworker, girl from bar.
Oh, that's what I was like. This is my point exactly, is take that situation of that friend that texted you. I would just not respond because if I am not in the headspace, or if I feel overwhelmed and I'm also like, oh my God, like again, that people pleasing is like, so it's not even people pleasing. My issue is I care so much about what people think. I don't know if that is people pleasing. It's less so like me acting to make sure you like me. It's just like, I just got to make sure everybody's like, I don't even know. It's really weird. But I'm like, I know that if I don't come at this like and make a plan, like whatever, they're going to get upset. But I don't have the capacity to respond, and I don't know, like, I have this going on, and I don't know how to explain that. They don't care. The spiral is real on that, and then I just am like, I'm just going to avoid. And then that just becomes, like, my personality, and I hate that. Because I just, like, don't respond when it could easily have been solved, like, of just saying exactly what you said, of, like, this is a crazy week. The next 2 weeks, you know, whatever. Like, people are more understanding than not when you give them the time. And I know that, but I also don't know that. So I just have, like, struggle with like expressing that to them, maybe because I'm still struggling with it myself. I don't know.
When I do what I'm about to say, I feel a lot better, but my current habit is to just leave messages unread, and then I'm like, okay, I'll respond, and then every day I'm like, crap, now there's 6 that I need to respond to, and like make time. So when I respond and I'm like, acknowledge whatever they said, and I'm like, can I check in with you on this like next week or whatever, and write it in my planner, and then the next week when I go, it's like that's already there, and it doesn't mean I need to give them an answer then, but it's just like my check, then it's not in my phone and I'm not seeing it constantly and feeling like crap, like I haven't done this, and then the messages are getting pushed down, and I'm just like, I'm letting people down.
It's so tough.
Yeah. But I feel like those are smaller things. When you first asked it about this like topic, if I wanted to record on it, I started thinking about like high school Erica, and like especially being raised in a church that pushes like women are subordinate in a way, and like you need to do what you're told, and like even being told, like going to a church dance when I'm 14 years old and being told like you shouldn't say no to a guy if he asks you to dance, like you don't want him to feel bad, like if he worked up the courage to ask you, you should say yes. It's like, what's the harm in one dance with a guy? It'll be over.
Ew. Yeah. I hate all of that.
Yeah. And so I'm like 14 years old dancing with like a 17-year-old, and I'm uncomfortable and I don't want to be doing it, but those are all like what I'm feeling, but I also in the back of my mind is like, I don't want him to be upset like this. He worked up the courage to ask me, what if this like...
Dude, that resonates so much with me. That I really struggle saying no. Like, I can say, this is so shitty, but I can say no to my friends, family, day and night. Men? No, never heard of that word.
It's so weird.
Why?
It's like someone that you don't even know. You like give all your power to.
Literally! Oh my lord, that's crazy. That happens. It's annoying.
I know, it's so annoying. I don't really know why
because it's like
is.
That's not me. I've created this space and I'm so good with doing it almost too well that it's like, really?
Well, and then that's the thing is like high school Erica would get herself into these like situations with boys where it's like I kept saying yes and saying yes and saying yes even though I didn't really want to, and now we're at a point where it's like, no, I'm like I am saying no, and they're like, well, why?
Yeah, because
like,
it doesn't
all of
add
these
up.
other things happen.
Oh, yeah.
Why suddenly are you saying no to me?
Well, then I just like I will gaslight myself into saying that. Exactly. Be like, well, I let everything, like I put myself in this position. Now I have to deal with it because
you said yes.
Yeah, because I said yes.
Yeah. Horrible. I don't know why we do that. Do you feel like you're still that way?
Oh yeah. Oh,
like the
100%.
same as you were in high school, or is it different?
No, I would say it's pretty much the same. I think that's why I like struggle so much with like actually dating or like meeting decent people, because I don't know, I just like I struggle to say no, or like even just to give up my time. Like I think of like just recently, especially this year, going on dates, which is like great that I'm pushing myself out there and like whatever and meeting them, and it's been fine, but sometimes it's like I end up in the moment just like saying yes when like my good has been like checked out. Like that one of the dates I went on was like just a random like coffee date in PB, and great date, great guy, it was a fine date, coffee was great, but then it was like, oh, do you want to like walk over here and do this? And it was like, yeah, you get like caught up in the moment that you just say yes, and not really like this is like a crazy thing to be saying no to, but it is these small things that really like mess with me, because then it's like we ended up hanging out longer and talking, and then I just felt like drained, and I felt like I wasn't really being myself, and then I felt like I was falling back into the patterns of like, okay, now I kind of have to like put on a show to keep their attention, when it was like my no should have been before. Like it was a fine date, but no, like I have stuff to do, I want to go home. Like that is my thing that I want to do, is like go home. And then not that it ruins dates, but it just like You know what I mean? Like, it
Yeah.
just, there's no, I mean, we've talked about this before of, like, leaving you wanting more. And I didn't, not that I didn't sleep with this guy. I'm just saying, like, it was prolonged and, like, kept going on and on and on, that after I was like, what just happened? Like, why did I do that?
Yeah. And then it's, like, something where you were into him, now you've, like, overexerted your energy.
Yeah.
And now you're like, I don't care to ever see you again. And it could be that he was actually, like, decent. Might have, like, felt that you wanted to see him again if you just cut it short to an hour.
Yeah.
But then he drained all your energy because you kept saying yes, and now... Because I've done these
You know?
things.
Yeah. And then I'm like, well, bye. This was fun.
I did my max dating with you. Yeah. I was trying to listen... Well, I was listening to a Jay Shetty podcast. I don't know how I feel about him. Do you have an opinion?
Oh, I thought you really liked him.
I thought I did too.
That's why I'm...
And then I've been listening to more episodes recently because he does a lot of topics that I think are interesting.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's weird because it feels kind of like self-serving. Like in the beginning of this episode, he was reading like reviews that he had gotten on his podcast, and it's like, thanks so much for this really nice review. And I'm like, this just feels like disingenuous.
Why are you reading it?
And then like at the end, he was like, him and his wife started like a tea company, and it felt like really like, oh, if you're one of the first 100 to like buy the tea, then you're an ambassador. And I'm like, ew, I don't like this. I don't like it. But one of the things he was saying is like to practice, like if you feel like it's really hard to just say like no and you feel like you need to have a reason, like practice saying no without saying no. So in a way of like, for example, if the guy asked you like, do you want to go do this thing, you could just be like, I actually have a lot I need to get done today, maybe another time or something. It's like you didn't outright say no, and then you like, it's still a kind way of letting someone down gently.
Yeah. And
he said something along the lines of like, no doesn't mean always, and it doesn't mean never. So like, it doesn't, just because someone said no to hanging out one time doesn't mean that's always what they're going to say, or that they never want to hang out with you type thing. Yeah. It's just like knowing that in that moment it's no, and that's fine. And that, like, if you think about it that way, which I do with other people, why can't it be the same for me?
Yeah. That's so interesting. It's just being put in positions where, like, I could say yes. Yeah. And I could also say no. Like, I think that's where I struggle, because then what ends up happening is, like, I will say yes for the sake of, like, pleasing that person without really maybe, like, creating space, whether it's, like, writing it down and, like, you know, making sure I have it, like, scheduled out if it's, like, hanging out or so. I don't know. Then, like, what you were saying, then I don't really feel like I'm showing up my, like, full self. But I also am, like, how do I continue to say no, but also, I don't know, like what I was saying before, I just want to maybe say yes. So I know this episode is about saying no, but I feel like the areas that I struggle with saying no, I need to be more firm, and not even like not say no, like go around it like you were just saying. So I think sometimes I really do just need to say no. But then like kind of even out the scale, like take the yeses that I'm saying here and moving them over here, and then switch those no's to over here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's an energy thing too, because it's like when I say yes to every single thing, then I'm showing up to places or like situations where I don't have a ton of energy to give. I'm not in the best headspace. I'm not really great company to be around. Yeah. And then I'm kind of just like a blob there. That's like, I don't really want to be here anyway. And
then people can sense that, and it's like, it just is not good.
Yeah. It's like, so why did I say that? When if I like, with the benefit of living here is that there's literally always things happening. So if I just pick the 2 that I want to do instead of the 7, then I show up to those 2 and I have a great time, and I have the energy to be able to be present at them.
I wanted to bring up this, not even like conversation, but this thing that I had someone say to me recently that like really struck home for me, and I thought it was like such a game changer. I had a friend from work reach out recently who was just like going through some, like, just needed to like talk about stuff, and she had texted me saying like, hey, I'm going through something. Do you have the headspace to like take this on? Actually, I'm just gonna like not word for word, but really figure out, because the way it made me feel and really changed the way that I even view the word no. Hey, are you free to talk right now? Want to make sure you have the mental capacity to listen before I vent to you. If not, that's 100% okay. Like, I am that kind of person that needs something like that. Not only was it like, hey, like, I need to vent, but like also checking in with you. Like, can you even take that? And then that little bit of validation of like, sometimes people say it's over the top, especially when I text, they're like, you don't have to say like, it's okay, we get it, sorry, so many times, but like, I don't know why I feel the need to do that. So for her to already have been like, it's totally okay if not, was just really nice, because I've never had anyone like do that before, because I am so good at saying no when it comes to like maybe going out and my time and energy, but I really am not the best at saying no when it comes to like trauma dumping, because I do it to people, and like I want to be there for people, and like I've been there, you know, to hear like, you know, when you grow up with so many siblings, like venting is literally like life, you know what I mean? So I really enjoyed that, because I was like, wow, I could literally just say like, no, I don't have the capacity, and I know that like our friendship would not suffer. I wouldn't feel like it wouldn't give me anxiety later. It was just really nice to have that like be on the other person's end sometimes. But then it just got me thinking too of like saying no when it comes to situations like that. Like I did say yes.
Yeah.
And I was able to. I was in the space. I wasn't doing anything. I was just at home watching TV. Like it was fine. It was fucking 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes on the phone of just like someone venting. It was fine. But there are situations that I am in quite often where like people will be telling me, and I know I do this too. So I feel like I can't really say anything because I do it, but like in a situation where people were venting, were trauma dumping, where like maybe it's like way drama or really like hard, heavy shit, or like just life stuff, that now I am like an empath taking all that on, and now I just like walked away. I was fine, and now I'm like fucking anxious. I need to smoke, like, and I was feeling fine before. Like, how do we say no to those kinds of situations?
Yeah. I think it's good, like, especially when someone texts you, to take a minute and, like, really check in with yourself before you respond. Because I would be the same. My initial reaction would be to be like, oh my gosh, yes, totally, I can do that. But then it's like, do I actually?
Yeah.
Like, is this, if someone dumps a bunch of stuff on me right now, how is that going to change my day? Or is it going to change my day? Because if it's not, then great, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like,
I might not.
honestly, like, appreciate you asking, can we check in tomorrow? Hope everything's okay. Type thing.
Yeah.
Like, they said it's fine.
Yeah.
They know that's fine. And I think even if someone doesn't say that, it's like, I think there isn't an unwritten expectation that you have to answer them right away. I think it's self-imposed because of the way the texting is so accessible, or calling someone, or being on social media. It's like, I'll leave Instagram DMs for days. So why can't I do the same with like a text?
Yeah.
Why do I feel like I have to say something to someone within 24 hours?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
The best feeling.
Yeah, I might as well not even have a phone. I don't even respond to nobody.
Oh, it's good though, because it's like, if I could just put my phone in my room, I have the capacity to get so much more done.
Yeah.
Then when I'm like trying to get work done, I'm feeling overwhelmed, and I have my phone like this, so I'm seeing my screen flash with all the things from people, or I'll put it on Do Not Disturb, and then I'm like, whoa, I haven't seen any notification in 2 hours, so I gotta check.
Yeah.
And it's like, why?
Mine is for sure the FOMO. When it comes to the phone, it's like, even though I don't respond, like, I want to know what's going on. Like, I just want to know, like, okay, do you remember when you guys were starting to train for the half Ironman, and that's back when I thought I was gonna do it, and Brooke was like, do you still want to be in the group message? And I was like, yeah.
Yes. I just want to watch.
I just want to know what's going on, and I just like, it just makes me laugh, because like I just want to know.
Yeah, no, I get that. I like just reading the group messages and catching up on everything.
Because I don't feel that, like, anxiety of like, oh, I have to respond, I have to interject, I have to say something. Like, it doesn't really give me, I mean, it does, but I'm like okay with sitting with that anxiety a little bit of like, I am glad to see that all of this is going on, but I can't respond because then I'm like, once I'm in, then I'm in, and like I have to make a plan. I can't.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this was, I just felt like that message was just such a check-in for myself and like how maybe I need to start like approaching conversations with people, because not that like my life is crazy or like I'm doing anything, but I do, like, I'm just a girl and I complain all the fucking time. And I think like whatever, it's fun and I like to complain, and when people come to me it's fun, but I just think it does take a toll, and I don't like feeling like that sometimes. And when I walk away feeling drained and it's only like 8:00 in the morning, you're like, what the fuck? And I think I find myself doing that. Like, I'm in a habit now of just talking or complaining or saying anything for the sake of filling up space, air, and like doing it at work. And sometimes I'm like, yeah, this may be making me feel better, but like, is it making anybody else feel better? And like just using that as an like kind of baseline of like, hey, I am about to vent to you, like, do you have space for this or no? And like, no, you know what I mean? Like, even not even in a text, but just like in person, because sometimes it's just like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And I know I'm a lot. I get it.
I don't think you're a lot.
Thank you.
I feel like everyone has their things they want to talk about.
Yeah. Over and over and over and over again. Like a freaking record.
We can analyze a different angle, a different perspective, a new day.
A debrief. I love it.
Yeah, I love a debrief too. I think my biggest like takeaway from thinking about this topic is like just setting better boundaries with my time, which is way easier said than done. But there's a reason I like write out my schedule for the week. And there's a reason I plan like when I'm gonna go out and when I'm not.
Yeah.
And I get that things pop up at the last minute, but like, how much flexibility can I give in those all the time? Or like, am I swapping? Like, I'll do this here instead of here, or am I just adding? Because that's like, I feel like I know myself and I know my energy and I know how I feel when I haven't worked out in a week, and then I start eating worse because I'm stressed, and then it's the spiral, and then I can't show up to places in good energy, or we don't need to talk about it.
No, I literally totally understand.
So like, not feeling the need to like fit someone in the moment they reach out, and like, if I can add one thing, then where can I take away in another area, and like saying no for myself instead of for like feeling like I need to justify it for other people.
Definitely. I agree. I think for me it's just more so like, how bad do I want my goals or whatever it is that I'm like working towards, or like how bad do I want to be 100%, like be at my 100%. And like, I just think of all the times, especially lately, where it's like I've planned my week, I've planned when I'm working out, I've planned when I'm taking care of the dogs and doing things, and then it gets to 9:00 and it's like, well, should I go out for a drink? And it's like, I can, and it's like fun, but the answer should be no, because I know what's going to end up happening, and that spiral. So it's like, okay, how, you know, there are days that it's like hard to get into the gym, hard to go for these crazy runs, but it's like saying no is such an easy way to like continue to stay like on top of your shit, easy-ish way, that I'm like, I just have to remember and check in with myself and like stay like, I don't know why I want to say motivated, but like stay motivated for whatever, like your life.
Yeah. And I think the piece about like being able to say no to people you don't know is really just like a matter of rewiring your brain. Like, you have to do it and be uncomfortable, and then it's like, oh, that was easy.
Yeah.
Which like I still struggle with, but like, as when I was dating, going on multiple like dates, I was just getting so fatigued, and it's like, why do I owe these people? I don't owe these people so much of my energy and time. So it's like, yeah, what you were saying earlier. Like, no, like, I had a good time. Let's chat another time. If you want to. You also don't need to say that at the end of every day.
Yeah.
Just a heads up. If you don't want to see them again, don't say that. Because now you're in another situation where you have to be like, I'm just kidding, I don't actually like you.
Yeah.
But those things are hard. And it's like, it's easier to just say yes because that's all we've ever done.
Yeah.
And we just need to, like, change the pathway.
I'm trying.
Me too. Trust me.
I also just really like the, like, saying no without saying no. Like, I think that, especially for the people I don't know, that's just an easier way to, like, approach that. Of just, skirting around it. Fuck it. Keep doing that, like, without, like, keep practicing that, even if it's not saying no, but, like, skirting around it, and then eventually, like, you'll work up to saying no.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I think if you are, like, someone, like, I think, like us, where we don't want to upset someone or, like, cause drama or whatever, like, I think coming across as just, like, no without an explanation can feel a bit like, oh, okay. But if there is, like, a little bit of, like, a soft landing for that person, yeah, then you build it up to where it's like the next time you just say no, they're like, oh, yeah, I know, like, whatever.
Yeah.
You have something. Or you just don't want to, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Love it.
Love it.
I don't have anything else to say, do you?
Nope. No.
No, I don't. Okay, good.
See? No problems here.
Well, hopefully there was some insight in that ramble for you to help yourself say no if you need to work on that. It is literally just a matter of practicing, building a muscle, as everything is, I suppose.
Yeah.
But you know where to find us. Polite as Fuck Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and see you next Wednesday.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.